Good evening. The Sarawak government continues to reinforce its strategic cooperation with the Malaysian Armed Forces MAF in an effort to ensure that the security of the state's borders remains maintained as well as supporting the integrated development of border areas. The commitment was expressed through a courtesy visit by the commander of the 1st Malaysian Infantry Division, Major General Muhammad Sobirin Muhammad Yusof, to the Sarawak Premier Datuk Patigi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari, Tun Datuk Abang Openg, at his office at Satria Pertiwi Complex in Kuching on Friday. The visit aims to strengthen the relationship between the first headquarters of the Malaysian Infantry Division and the Sarawak government, in addition to discussing various matters related to security and state development. Among the matters discussed was an update on the current security status in Sarawak, with a special focus on control in the border area to ensure that the state continues to be safe, peaceful, and stable. The two parties also exchanged views on a more effective and integrated approach in strengthening security surveillance in border areas in line with current security needs. In addition, the meeting also touched upon the strategic cooperation between the 1st Malaysian Infantry Division and the Sarawak government in the development of infrastructure in the border area as an effort to strengthen the capability of security operations while improving the well-being of the local community. Sabah and Sarawak continues to affirm their commitment to strengthening strategic cooperation in a more structured and formal manner to accelerate the development of the Borneo territory through coordination in various key sectors, including road infrastructure, utilities, ports, logistics, and industrial development. Sabah Deputy Chief Minister 2 and Sabah Minister for Industrial Development, Entrepreneurship and Transport, Dato Iwan Benedict, said the cooperation will commence through coordination at the senior official level of the ministries of both states as an initial step to reinforce the implementation of various joint initiatives. According to him, close relations between Sabah and Sarawak are highly crucial as both states complement each other in terms of resources, infrastructural facilities, and economic development potential that can benefit the entire Borneo territory.
Sabah memerlukan Sarawak, Sarawak memerlukan Sabah untuk memastikan wilayah Borneo, Sarawak dan Sabah ini akan membangun dengan lebih baik melalui kerjasama yang lebih baik. Dan kita bersetuju untuk formalize kerjasama ini dan bermula dengan peringkat pegawai kanan Kementerian Sarawak dan juga kementerian kita di Sabah.
He said this to reporters after paying a courtesy call on Sarawak Deputy Premier and Sarawak Minister for International Trade, Industry and Investment, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, at Wisma Sumber Alam in Kuching on Friday. Elaborating further, Dato' Iwan said the discussion also focused on efforts to strengthen cooperation in the industrial sector, considering that both states share an interdependent relationship within supply chains and industrial development. The Sarawak Youth Day celebration has now been rebranded as Sarawak Youth Week, which will be held for a week at the Kota Semarahan Civic Centre from 10 to 16 August. Minister for Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development, Dato' Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said the rebranding reflects the state government's commitment to expanding the scope of the event with more comprehensive content, thus providing more opportunities for youth to participate in various development programs. According to him, the annual celebration, organized by his ministry in collaboration with various government agencies and non governmental organizations, NGOs, aims to celebrate the spirit of the younger generation while also empowering them as future leaders of Sarawak, in line with the theme Our Aspirational Youth, which was maintained from last year.
Selain daripada menyediakan platform untuk anak-anak muda mempamerkan bakat, menyertai aktiviti sukan, rekreasi dan juga usahawan. Program ini juga dirangka untuk menginspirasikan perubahan positif dalam komuniti setempat.
He said this during a press conference for the Sarawak Youth Week 2026 celebration on Thursday. Dato Sri Abdul Karim added that the opening ceremony is scheduled to take place on 15 August at the Kota Semarahan Civic Center and is expected to be officiated by Sarawak Premier Dato Patigi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Dato Abang Openg. He further explained that various youth development based activities will be held through three main components, namely Youth Champion, Youth Active, and Youth Marketplace, in addition to government agency exhibitions that provide information on job opportunities, education, entrepreneurship, and services to the community. The Kapit Division Sarawakku Sayang SKS 2026 program begins today with various activities that focus on the delivery of government services, community development, and strengthening the relationship between the government and the people throughout 3 days of the program. The soft launching ceremony was officiated by Sarawak Secretary Dato Ama Muhammad Abu Bakar Marzuki at the Kapit Civic Center grounds on Friday. At the same event, he also inaugurated the Sarawak Pavilion and Services and Kapit Kitchen and Sales before spending time inspecting the Kapit Division's development exhibition, government department and agency exhibitions, stalls selling local entrepreneurs' products and handicrafts, in addition to handing out aprons to traders. As early as 9 a.m., people began to flood the program site with the opening of Kapit Kitchen and Sales and Straw Pavilion and Services, which brought together the main exhibition, service counters of various government agencies, and e-contest registration. The first day was also enlivened with a variety of community-friendly activities, including a coloring competition, cooking competition, and folk sports, which received a positive response from people of various walks of life. In the evening, visitors were treated to a Sarawak cultural night that highlights the performance of various ethnic groups as a symbol of harmony, unity, and the richness of the state's cultural heritage. The Kapit Division SKS 2026 opening ceremony is scheduled to take place on Saturday and will be officiated by the Sarawak Premier, Dato Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Dato Abang Openg. Dato Patigi Abang Zohari is also scheduled to conduct a working visit to several development projects in Kapit, including Kampong Baru Kapit, the SK Kampong Baru Kapit Dilapidated School Upgrade Project, which was fully completed in November 2025, in addition to listening to a briefing on the Old Kapit Airport Master Plan by the Regional Corridor Development Authority, RICODA. Meanwhile, the Kapit Division SKS 2026 program highlighted its own uniqueness through the encouraging participation of young entrepreneurs showcasing various products born from their ideas and creativity. Dato Ama Muhammad Abu Bakar said that the participation of youth in the program reflects a growing interest and potential in the field of entrepreneurship.
Dan saya nampak apa yang unik di Kapit kali ini berbanding dengan bahagian-bahagian lain, ramai usahawan-usahawan muda yang terdiri daripada belia-belia yang muncul hadir dengan idea mereka dalam bidang perniagaan. Dan saya ucapkan tahniah kepada Kapit atas kejayaan mereka menampilkan usahawan-usahawan muda dalam pelbagai bidang perniagaan.
Meanwhile, he is optimistic that the organization of the Kapit Division, SKS 2026, will be able to attract more than 10,000 visitors throughout the 3-day program.
Untuk mereka yang datang berkunjung ke pameran, kitchen dan sebagainya, saya jangka tahu untuk bahagian Kapit ni ianya akan dapat menjangkau lebih pada 10,000 orang dengan aktiviti-aktiviti yang kita adakan seperti cabutan bertuah, konsert rakyat, Sarawak Kapit Kitchen dan juga gerai-gerai yang hari ini saya nampak banyak mempamerkan usahawan-usahawan muda.
The Ministry of Education, KPM, is urged to provide sufficient allocations to ensure the implementation of the digital education policy can be realized effectively, especially in rural areas. Deputy Minister in the Sarawak Premier's Department, Corporate Affairs, Information and UKAS, Dato Abdullah Saidul, said that the implementation of the education digitization agenda requires the provision of sufficient basic facilities, including computers, LED projectors, and various support equipment to assist the teaching and learning process, PDP. He noted that if the government aspires to make the digital education policy a success, the ministry needs to provide large funds to implement the policy. He added that a good policy must be introduced alongside providing the basic requirements to implement it. He said this during the Gawai Pengerami program at Sekolah Kebangsaan SK Mupong in Bintango on Thursday. In a related development, Dato Abdullah also urged the ministry to draw focus to the lack of funds faced by schools to carry out extracurricular, social, and sports activities, particularly in rural areas. According to him, in addition to the issue of dilapidated schools, the aspect of student development through activities outside the classroom also requires sufficient financial support. And that's the English edition with me, Nicholas Zechariah Boni. More news can be found in our official portal, ucas.sarawak.gov.my, and social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. We end tonight's UCAS Bulletin with scenes from the soft launch ceremony of the Kapit Division SKS 2026 program today. Hashtag Salaran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.